welcome to episode 31 of the weekly discussion show, #Shout, the show where each week 3 friends get together to discuss a wide variety of topics, from the serious to the downright hilarious.
This week we'll be taking a look at our tweets of the week, plus we have a few topics to discuss in this week's open forum.
I am the Earl Walker 1.
And I'm Steve Jones 313, and with us this week as usual is a man so geek he owns shares in Sark Industries and Wade Enterprises. It's Geek King! How you doing? Your Majesty.
I'm Skippy Hippie.
Oh, well, Stephen, of course, you were named a Knight of the Geek Realm.
Yes, I was knighted, a Knight of the Geek Realm. I'm not quite sure what that means.
Lord Stephen of Pembroke.
Lord Stephen of Pembroke, yes.
Of course, you are Lone Walker 1.
Yep.
I messed up my own name.
Yes. So how is everyone today? Are we all groovy? Are we all awesome?
Yes,
I'm awesome.
I'm groovy. Darren did, but we're all groovy.
Awesome. So let's get the show rolling, and Dan, kind of lead us into the first segment of the show, as you normally. In your tail market, it's #shout.
Shout.
Oh, shout.
Shout. Yeah.
Do you need a clip?
Shout!
No, it's not shout. Do you need a clue? So what it is?
Hold on. I think I've got it.
Okay.
Dan versus the script! Begin! Anyway, come on, what's our Twitter segment called? Alright, so I've got some tweets for you. I've got some tweets of the week for you. You've got some tweets of the week.
Indeed, I do.
I don't know if you've got any. You got any tweets of the week?
Let me look at Twitter.
Okay then.
I shall
We'll
begin.
I may have a tweet of the day.
I shall begin with at CM Punk.
Yeah.
Did you know that God loves you? So does SpongeBob.
At LolGop, Mitt Romney says he's winning. So did Charlie Sheen.
Again, a second one from at CM Punk. I do apologise for a repeat, but you know.
Yeah.
If you're going to tweet some BS lies, I will call you out. If you're going to ask me for anything, say it please. #magic word.
From at Real King Regal, or William Regal.
That's the Regal.
This isn't funny, but only in Blackpool do you see as the newspaper headline: Circus Acrobat in Caravan Fireball Explosion.
I'm just looking through my files.
Also, at the Gary Crackett, the only thing that falls faster than my follower count is Jimmy Savile's popularity.
This is one of my favourite tweets of the week. It's actually one of the nicest tweets of the week I've read in a long time.
Yep.
It's at Through Best Eye. At Through Best Eye. At the Lone Walker 1 is actually the nicest person ever. You heard it here first, folks. And what?
I'm the nicest guy in the world.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Nice guy finish last. And I keep finishing fucking last.
You clipped me round the back of the head today. For no reason. Ow! He clipped me round the back of the head again. Ow!
That echoed!
You want to hear the microphone?
You'll hear it on the mic. Sorry.
If not, I can do it again.
No! This isn't a fucking sound test. Any tweets?
That's not part of the sound test from now on.
Any tweets you'd like to share with us, Dan?
I'm looking.
It's okay.
I know on Twitter, Colin Powell's trending. I don't know who Colin Powell is.
He's the... Is he like... Well, he was the fucking presidential... was he not the vice president?
Oh, no, he was...
Or was that Dick Cheney?
Secretary of State, something.
Yeah. Dick Cheney was one that...
Defense. Was he defense?
Secretary of Defense?
Yeah. He kept pushing to go to war.
Saw that.
But he's
Colin Powell's a guy that's actually white. He just happens to be black.
Yeah, because he's trending because he endorses President Obama.
Well, there you go.
Which is no real surprise.
While Dan's looking for his tweet,
Yeah.
Neutron walks into a bar, asks for a beer, goes, "How much?" The barman says, "For you, no charge."
I hear you.
I was going to make a chemistry joke, but all the good ones are argon.
Are you saying Electron walks to a bar?
No, neutron.
A neutron. Right.
Yes, a neutron.
Neutrons have a positive.
Right. I was just double checking.
That's why they're never depressed. They got a positive charge. What's the other ones? This was a chemistry-based insult that I shot a friend of mine, which was I was going to call you neon, but you're anything but noble.
No.
That's quite intelligent when you think about it. Otherwise, you just have a talent.
I'm trying to think of any. See, in science, we never really discussed jokes. We were too busy setting fighter shit.
I did.
We had hydrochloric acid in tongs. We were happy. We could pick shit up and drop it in the acid and never get hurt. Apart from that one kid, whose name I forget.
Let's think. I have this book on helium. I just can't even put it down.
Oh, why? Why do you do that, Adam?
Two guys walk into a bar.
Oh, God.
One goes to the bartender and says, "I'll have an H2O." And his mate goes, "I'll have an H2O too." He dies.
Yeah.
Well, Twitter, I follow a lot of people.
It's okay.
We're just filling time with some of the worst jokes. I'll probably edit it.
Alright, so we tell them bad jokes.
Yeah, we just tell each other bad jokes one way because I've just got to edit it all out.
Alright,
to make it no, there's some of them say, but it's to make it sound like you went, I've got some tweets. Because I probably should have let you.
There's one I heard which I probably can't tell in public ever.
So tell us.
Right,
we're not public.
Okay, why do Jewish men get circumcised?
Because of the horse.
No, Jewish ladies cannot resist 10% off.
Oh.
I heard that one at school. This is what people come up to me in school and say, other than Batman and Undy, they come and just tell me random jokes. One kid, for some, I don't quite know why, walks up and goes, "My goldfish died in a bowl like this." You can't see what this is editing it out anyway, so you never get to know what this is. But it's like, it is putting one's hands in front of my boobs and to shake them in an upward and down motion. The hands, that is, not the boobs.
There's a political joke. So it
is political season.
Yeah.
What?
Guy walks into a bar and he sits in, he's in a country area. You know, he's from the city. So he walks into this bar in the country, sits himself down, and it's like, "I'll have your best deal." He says, "Are you like this ale?" Starts with the deal. And on the TV is Nick Griffin of the BNP, blabbering on about bullshit as per usual.
Yeah.
The guy can't. Have you seen him? He looks like a right fucking pig. Immediately the barman grabs him and slaps him across the face. Goes to raise his fist, but he goes, whoa, I'm sorry, fuck. Jesus, I didn't realise it was in Nick Griffin country. He goes, "Oi! Well, you're in pig country."
This one is this one's a good one. And I'll tell you why. I've always wondered.
It's better than mine. That's what I'm saying.
I've always wondered why governments have been against prostitution when it's quite clearly that we pay for them to.
Yeah.
And the reason I like that is, one, because I came up with it, and two, it's a socio-political prostitute pun. There are not many of those floating around.
You don't pay a hole to fuck you pay a hole to leave.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Dan, you got the treats. Right,
he'll let us know.
Okay, well that means, Stephen, we're going to have to do interpretive dance. What we should do is edit this bit that we edit out, make it a separate show, and just put what happens.
There's a plane flying by, right, and it crash lands on this desert island, right? As it crash lands, there are only two survivors. Some random guy from the north, and Anne Hathaway.
Oh, good luck.
Dan
tweets.
And the both, a month goes by, and obviously there's a few nights where they're getting very lonely, and he's fucked her brains out, obviously, right?
Yeah. And
that's all well and good, you know, awesome times. But then the guy starts getting quite upset with something, and Anna's going, and I was like, "Well, what's wrong? I'm sure the rest of you will come at some point. I know it's been a month, but still." And he goes, "It's not that. It's not that." I like, "Well, what's wrong?" And he goes, "Well, Anna," because they're on first name basis now. They are fucking, that's for all. He goes, "Well, Anna, the thing is, you know, I miss my friends back at home. You know, there's nothing I loved more than after work on a Sunday, going to the bar with my mates and just shooting the breeze with them. You know, chilling and shit. And I really miss them." And Anna goes, "Well, you know, look, I'm a great actress." He goes, "I know, you play Catwoman." He says, "I know, but still. I'm a great actress. What I could do is find stuff and act as your friends. You know, I know I'm female, but I could act like one of your male friends." And he goes, "I don't know, Anna." He said, "No, truly, I'll go away. You know, I'll get some like coconut milk and all that jazz. Pretend it's a bar. You know, we'll do a bit of role play, all right?" And he goes, "You're going to pretend to be my mate?" She goes, Yeah. He goes, "All right, fair enough." She goes away. In about 10 minutes, he follows up. And there she is. She's found a way, gets like chalk-like stuff to draw a goatee on her face. She's leaning against this bit of wood that pretends to be a bar. He's like, "You all right? You're halfway over." She's really good. He gets there. He says, "Oh, I ordered you a pint, coconut water. You know, it's what the best you can do." And he goes, "How are you doing?" And the guy goes, "You never guess who I've been fucking."
I like that one. Oh, what else? This is quite a good extra show, which is what happens when the mic goes off.
It goes off. That's the start of the show.
It's the final countdown.
No.
See, now we're going to get it. Okay, see, now it has to stay in.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you will all enjoy that jokes.
I might edit it all out and just get to that point and I go, what are they laughing at? You don't get the joke. Oh. Alright. In which case, let's go to our open forum. We've got some questions to answer later on, guys. We've been sent some questions. Thanks for that. But yeah, let's go to the open forum. Now, I know I've got something to talk about. Adam, let's kick off with yourself.
Yes. See,
Cunt, right?
Kant.
No, Kant.
No.
I took philosophy and ethics at A level because I decided, well, what better way to spend an hour than shouting at people and saying they're silly?
I did that. It was awesome.
It was, isn't it?
I did that, but I went to the pub.
Although my lecturer tried to get me down for fucking harassment, even though she was the one harassing me. Yeah. And by the way, yeah, it is because I filed the report, with the school. So fuck you. I can say that on the show.
You hit that?
No, of course I didn't hit that. She was a hag. She still is a hag. Fucking
Just asking.
Christine Newton. Yeah, that's you. I can say that. It's fact.
Anyway.
Not that you're a hag. That's my opinion. But the fact that you try to harass me is fact, and that's on fucking record.
It's on shout. You are now a hag. It is a fact. It's a shout fact.
No, that's my opinion.
Okay. Anyway,
it's true that you're a fucking bitch for trying to harass me.
We have been learning about this gentleman from centuries ago called Immanuel Kant.
Yes.
Kant. K-A-N-T.
Don't look up Immanuel's Code because that's a different. That's an
awesome film.
Yes.
The problem with
several of them.
Now, Immanuel Kant has many problems. The first one
is that they could never seem to stick to one partner.
I'm going to refer to him as Immanuel now because I can't trust
a manual. Like an Immanuel to a Kant.
I cannot trust either of you two with his last name.
But the philosopher Kant.
Yes, the philosopher Kant.
I'm trying to make it interesting.
The philosopher Kant.
I'm trying. That is a bit like the philosopher's cunt, isn't it? I'm just trying to make I am trying to make it so Dan doesn't fall asleep. Because you and me on the same, but he doesn't like this shit.
I'm going to say three things before I set off into my.
I have my new iPhone 5, but I'm fine.
Okay. I'm going to say three things.
Yes, I have an iPhone 5.
I'm going to say.
B-Jets.
I'm going to say three things before I set off into my. Firstly, anything I say that Kant does, although this sounds like, well, genuinely, I'm arguing against stuff I read about in the textbooks. If you want to research him, go ahead. You'll understand that what I'm actually saying he does, he genuinely does.
He's one of those people worth reading up to find out just how wrong he is.
Secondly, I do not claim to be anywhere near as smart as I speak.
He's not trying to pretend to be smarter than he actually is.
Yes. Thirdly, the reason I think he's wrong on a basic level is because he is. So
that's correct.
I'm just getting that out of the way before I begin. Right. Firstly, Kantian ethics is based upon the simple...
Kantian ethics?
Kantian. Not
Canteen.
No, that's basically... Anyway, Kantian ethics is based upon the ideas of reason and duty from a godlike being.
Yes.
Whether this be Kant believed in angels, I should write that out. He's one of those.
I believe in angels.
Whoa.
Let me say that much.
So we can afford that for people.
He's one of those, Looney Tunes who believes in angels.
Tiny.
Yo.
Yeah, he said he was.
Yo.
What?
I didn't know he was Looney Tunes.
Stephen, entertain Dan.
He's got iPhone.
Anyway, no, it is like reasoning and duty are a nice idea to do what's good for everyone. He defines a good thing for everyone as being an act which Now, these are the three maxims of the categorical imperative.
Formulas.
Maxims.
Apparently not according to her. Your lecturer.
Oh, that's because she's a fool. The point is, the three maxims of Kantian ethics go as follows. The first one, that at any point, it has to be able to be universalized for the goodness of all mankind. So
basically, a moral law has to be able to be applied to the entirety of humankind.
Yes. Secondly, all humans, by these acts, must be treated as an ends within themselves, not a means to an end.
You can't use people to get what you want.
And remember that, it's going to come in handy later. There will be a quiz. Thirdly, this is one where I might mess up the wording, so Stephen, you'll have to bear with me, as will you, the lovely viewers. Listeners, you're not technically viewing.
If I can just jump in for a minute.
Yes.
Fuck you, Cena. Continue.
That John Cena. Hashtag FU Cena. That's good. Never mind. The point is, you must act as if you are a legislator in the kingdom of ends. Now, that basically means the same thing as the second, but with a little more detail. That,
if you believe in God, it kind of helps with that one.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, which is all well and good saying that we should all live in a world where no one lies or uses each other, but, point is, it doesn't account. His idea on...
Doesn't account for count.
Yeah.
His idea of how to better humanity doesn't count for one specific thing. Humanity.
Yeah.
Humans can always be counted on for two things.
War. And taxes.
No. Fighting for free will and changing. Let's take the most famous example of an idea that was given to Kant. Now, Stephen, Dan...
Oh, yes.
Right. Okay, Dan, I'm going to do it with you because... Imagine you are at your house.
Okay.
And Stephen's come over to watch a pay-per-view.
Okay.
Now imagine Jisme, jealous that he wasn't invited over, appears at the door with an axe.
Actually, have to imagine that.
Now, assuming that you and I aren't pissing ourselves with laughter...
Imagine this. Imagine he is psychotically wanting to kill Stephen.
Right.
You don't need to be psychotic for that.
If you lie... Okay, would you lie and say that Stephen is, say, the Metro Centre to save his life?
Assuming it was either that or I die. Would you lie? If that was the only option. Lie to save my life.
Probably.
Right.
Okay, Kant would say you are an immoral person and you are bad. Kant believed that...
But there's a lot of truth to that. I am an immoral person and quite bad.
Kant believed that...
Oh, yeah, you are.
Kant believed...
About the time I spend in your bedroom, we shouldn't be doing that.
That's overall sexuality.
And really, if you want to play that game, you'll lose.
I know.
Anyway,
that was that little joke out every now and then.
Kant categorically believed that all evil was in itself equal. Lying, same level of badness as killing. And killing is rape, and rape is stealing, and rape is pillaging. All the two go together. Rape and pillaging, sitting in a tree, chopping it down, and then molesting it.
I don't know. I'm actually rather polite to women when I pillage.
Nah, fuck it, I'm Viking.
I'll plunder your village and I'm like, sorry miss, could you excuse me? I'm just trying to thank you.
Now, here's the thing. If I ever meet a human who agrees with Kant and says that lying to save your best friend's life is wrong, I will call the men in the white coats to take away, because they do not deserve to be able to make those decisions. If duty justifies killing, then it doesn't make sense. I mean, war is an occurrence which can be justified in certain extents. If it is a direct need...
The problem is, when you're arguing Kantian ethics, people go, like yourself right now, you go on a very, very long way to avoid just saying the simplest of things. Kant's theory does not work because it contradicts itself.
Yeah, I was about to get to that.
But you're going all about the universe.
Right. You're doing great, right? Because you're making people understand why you're arguing it, and you're going around the roundabout. Here's the thing. From what I've heard so far, Kant's theories, what is it called? Fixations or maxims?
Categorical imperatives.
Them, all a little bollocks.
They are indeed. Now, Kant...
Covering every element of the intellectual spectrum, really.
As Stephen brought on the point, Kantian ethics states that all people must be treated as ends themselves rather than a means to an end, which is a lovely idea. You never use anybody thing is, though, in completing one's duty, you get a sense of fulfillment, and happiness comes from fulfillment. Therefore, you begin to do your duty because doing your duty fulfills you, makes you happy. If your duty is to work to help someone else, you are using them as a means to ends. But they are the end, so they're a means to their own ends while being the ends. Therefore, it's a paradox which can't exist.
To quote the great philosopher Joey Tribbiani,
How you doing?
there's no such thing as a selfless good deed.
That is,
all deeds are selfish.
that is it.
Because at the most basic level, you used to make you feel good.
Yeah. I mean, it is basic psychology. You associate doing good things, doing your duty, and fulfillment.
It's a reward system.
Yeah. So you do it more. And the thing is, because you're doing it, because you're helping them to get it, you end up being... Kant, massive deontologist, believes that you should only do things because of they're innately good or bad, but he becomes himself teleological. Because he does things because the consequence is good.
Basically, his system is a personal reward system. It's, you do good things. A good thing is, based upon a set of rules already put down, but the reward is you feel good.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing it for. I mean, ultimately, here's my problem with Kant, right? I mean, you've got a big thing about abortion, which I'll let you get into, because it's also your work here.
Oh, yeah.
But when I studied Kant back in 2003, 2004, so it's like, 9 years ago now?
Yes.
My major problem with Kant was that his philosophy just couldn't work. He was wrong on every single account. I mean, the first one, if I address the three maxims, or formulations, as your lecture seems to think it is, right, must act in a way that could, that will be able to become a good universal law. There is hardly, I can think of one law that is universal. However, at a stretch, one could make that one law that I can think of completely wrong, right?
Yeah.
And that's rape. Don't rape.
Yeah.
The only way you could possibly justify, and I would never justify it, but someone could argue, what if we survived an Armageddon, and there's a few women left, and we need to recreate the human race, but they didn't want to put out. That's probably the term they use to argue it.
Still kind of fucking rape.
Well, is it justifiable? Not good, that's wrong. Is it justifiable?
There wouldn't be enough women. If it came down to rape, there wouldn't be enough women to fucking...
But my point is, right?
To repopulate.
You got to remember, the human race came from incest anyway. The only reason, right, incest is deemed wrong is because of
understanding of family ties.
Understanding of family ties.
Not the cool TV show.
Yeah, but so basically, there's only one or two laws I can think of which are universal. But must act in a way that treats others as to means not means. I can agree with that to an extent, but the problem is, what happens? What happens when you get to? And I'm not going to use. I'll use a different example. Let's say someone is dying, right? Someone's dying, and you can donate something to save their life, but it'll kill you in the process. Now, it's your own life. You do what you want with it, But Kant would go, well, you can't do that because you'd be killing yourself, and that'd be wrong. Because you're going against God's will. But you're letting somebody else die. So it doesn't account for using yourself as a means to an end. You can't use anyone as it says treat others, but you can't use people as a means to an end. What about treating yourself? And then the third one, must act as you the legislator in the kingdom of ends. Basically, you are trying to create a world where the ends, in the kingdom of ends, where basically the means must be able to justify the end.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. The problem with that goes back to the first problem. If you can't create a good universal law, you cannot be that because you have to agree to a system of ethics. So, fuck you in the dick count.
There are a couple of points I've put. There are a couple of arguments I'll put out and also put out a little thing. Firstly, I'm going to argue the universalisation thing. Kant believed, if we're referring to crime and punishment, that rehabilitation was wrong. Kant followed Old Testament style punishment. He believed if you strike someone, you had to strike yourself. If you murdered someone, you had to kill yourself. He said, well, you can't kill yourself if you want to, but if we tell you you have to, you have to. He's basically a moralistic fascist. The problem is...
And it also means he didn't read the Bible.
The thing is, though, what Kant did was, he said you can't use rehabilitation because to change someone's actions is to deny them autonomy and therefore is wrong, autonomy being free will. But here's the problem. It's
the idea to change their belief system.
Yeah. Now let's say that that I don't think that lying is wrong. I'm fine with lying. I genuinely am.
Okay, go a higher scale. What about murder?
Yeah. Let's say that there is something about that. Something that happens to me that I believe that murder is sometimes okay. And then Kant comes along and says, well, no, we're universalizing this, you have to believe it. The only way he can make me do that is by implementing an absolutism, totalitarian fascist rule. And to do that would be denying everyone autonomy, and therefore his ethics become corrupt. His ethics become an oppressive system more than autonomous, free, reasonable one.
His only option would be to either kill you or imprison you for life. But here's the problem. He says that rehabilitation can't be used because you can't change one's autonomy. But therefore, prison itself is a form of rehabilitation. It's not just about keeping people away, unless you get the people that have life sentences, but to deny one of their autonomy. What if someone's a psychopath that want to go kill people? You can't deny them their autonomy. That's their free will. So you've got to stop them from doing that. So basically, to me, you know what he sounds like? You know those guys that say everyone's talking about a movie that they've seen, right? I'm often this guy, you're sitting there and you have no idea what they're talking about, but you've seen a couple of pictures on Tumblr, or you've read a couple of reviews. So to try and get involved in the conversation, you say, oh, well, I didn't like this thing because of this. And then oh, but what about the scene afterwards? And then you blag, right? That's that guy. That's what Kant is. He's got a kind of idea of this, and now he's just saying shit to sound like he knows what he's talking about. But he doesn't, because the stuff he says makes no sense. And this is why I'm a situationalist.
Yes.
And Dan's a dentist.
To end it all, I'm going to talk about...
Don't end it all. I'm sorry about the headphone thing, dude. Please. I hope I didn't offend you too much.
Firstly, I'm going to go with a small example, then I'm going to go with the big one that I wrote as an essay. The small example was this. Kant believed that to lie was wrong. In this situation, I would like responses via the Tumblr page or commenting on the show, whatever. This is a question to all.
So this one works.
Yeah, to any of you listeners and all that jazz. If, say, you were walking upon a pier at some point, and you saw a man at the edge about to jump off.
Yes.
If you went up to them, would you at some point utter the phrase, "Things will get better"? Stephen?
No.
You wouldn't break down.
Well, if someone's going to jump off, say things are going to get better.
Yeah.
No, because how the fuck do I know what's going to happen in their life?
Yeah, correct, right? So to do that, that's fine. If you don't say that, if you say, things could get better, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But if you accidentally say, or you slip and say, things will get better, and you save their lives, you're a bad person because you just lied. You don't know. Yeah,
well, that was said at the beginning. Kant believes lying is wrong. Lying is neither wrong or good. It depends upon its intent. So, yeah.
But yeah, the final example I'm going to give, and I know this is going to be a really cuddly friendly part of the show, abortion. Now,
I had such a dark joke there. Not going there.
As an ethics paper on Kant, I wrote about abortion.
Yes, show the camera that isn't rolling.
Okay, there you go.
No.
Now, firstly, could abortion be considered able to become a universal law?
No.
Kant believed actions to be innately good or bad. Lying he believed to be bad, as well as killing.
He's an idiot.
And abortion could be considered killing if you agree with the life begins at conception argument.
Could.
Thus, could this form of killing be universally accepted? Well, not really. Faiths tend to believe that only their God has the authority. Oh yeah, there are so many different gods. How do we know which one wants us to kill which person? I get confused in all of the mix-up myself. So you got to ask yourself one question. Do you feel lucky? Huh? Do you punk in your choice of gods? Personally, I like to stick with, Cthulhu. He's the great one. Anyway, the word of God is important to Kant's theory. He believed that our rationality and reasoning came from God, and that it was to counteract and contrast with the pure emotion and passion behind our animalistic behaviour. Yeah. Kant also believed that emotion was an animalistic behaviour, and we as humans, sentient beings, should not have that behaviour. That we should only work on reason. Basically, he was sociopathic. He was religious, sociopathic, and a fascist.
You can't be religious without emotion. It's impossible.
Thus, He would reason...
Faith is an aspect of emotion.
Yeah, thus we would reason that abortion could be considered murder, which would be going against the word of God. Therefore, the voice of word and reason, and as such as a wrongful act, cannot be considered acceptable as universal law. However, I did argue with this at some point. My argument to this, yes, was indeed that the thing is, though, secondly, does abortion treat people as an end within themselves or a means to an end? Well, in one respect, no, it doesn't. For example, if termination were the only way to save the life of a mother who would otherwise die giving birth, and then say you go and kill the fetus, you are using it as a means to save someone's life, a means to an end. This, according to Kant, is innately wrong. However, if you keep the baby, if you kill the mother and save the baby, you're using the mother as a means to an end.
Yeah.
Therefore, you're using both of them as a means to an end. It's just which can cause them more harm. See, in my book, and this is my genuine opinion, in that situation, when it's two means to an end arguing, the mother can go on to try to have another baby. Theoretically. If it was just this one, mishap this one time and not a genetic problem, theoretically, she could go on to have another child. This fetus, at this point, has no potential.
The problem is, though, we're getting into the argument of whether abortion is right and wrong. That's not the question. The question is, can Kantian ethics be used for it? And it can't, because it traps itself in a corner. Kant says you cannot use people as a means to an end. Well, in that case, you're either using the mother or you're using the fetus. And you count the fetus as a person under God's law. So, again, what about the doctor? Let's say there's a doctor who can save only one of two people. So you can say something like, but in order to save a person's life, he has to commit an immoral act. His duty is to heal and preserve life, not to moral coding. But in order to Kant, a doctor would be wrong if he had to use a moral means in order to save a kid. So basically what we're saying is Kant's law cannot be universal, does not account for the idea, it does not stop people from being used as a means to an end, but rather, considers it justifiable in many cases. And also, it cannot rely on people being the legislators of a kingdom of ends because that requires universal law.
And the Caffeine brothers have basically just disproved Kant's theory of ethics.
Yes, although I did that in 2003.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is why Kant is wrong, because he is wrong.
Now from Kant to energy drinks.
Woohoo! Cans!
You've all heard of Monster, right?
Cans?
Yeah.
Yes.
Monster, right. Now, in America, a girl in Baltimore has died, having believed to have consumed way too much caffeine after drinking a can of Monster.
Silly goose.
Now, the mother of the girl, this is why we can talk about it, because it is a case and all that, the girl's mother has sued Monster, so there's court cases going on. Monster are claiming on their cans, it says, do not drink more than 2 in 24 hours.
Yeah, I do actually, I've drank Monster, it does say that on the cans.
Yeah, so Red Bull says there's a limit as well.
However, the FDA are currently investigating this. That's the the Food Department Agency.
Yeah.
They're investigating because their argument is, well, here's the kicker: if a single can of Monster is deemed to have too much caffeine in and of itself, then the warning to have no more than 2 in 24 hours becomes redundant. Because that's like saying, that'd be like saying, don't stab yourself more than twice. Stabbing yourself once is dangerous enough. So if they conclude that there is too much caffeine within a single can of Monster to begin with, they could potentially win their lawsuit because FDA have said, well, they're dangerous and whatnot. You should be telling them you shouldn't be having them that dangerous in the first place.
My only problem with that being the fact that it's an energy drink. You're aware of it's not like it was an accidental thing.
Well, this is the question I was going to ask you guys. If it's deemed that there is so much caffeine in any energy drink, given that situation now with any energy drink, should the court case go to the energy drink or to the family? And what's your reasoning for it?
Speaking as not being in the situation myself, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm talking about removing emotion from it. We're talking about based upon the facts, because you don't base a court case on.
I'd go for the drink. I believe that if people are aware of what they're buying when they buy it, they know they buy it because it's an energy drink. It's going to have this kind of stuff in it, so they should be aware, and it's their own fault if they drink or have too much. It's the same reason that if someone, takes cocaine and they take too much cocaine, they're getting themselves into what happens.
I completely disagree. Here's the thing, right? This ain't drugs. We're not talking about cocaine. You take cocaine, you're fucked, right? Here's the thing. If a company tells you it has this much caffeine, Adam, how much caffeine can a human person have? And I want the exact number. The exact amount of much caffeine that a person can have in 24 hours.
No idea.
Roughly, give us a guess.
25 grams.
Do you have any idea though?
No.
If that's right. Well, so if you don't know, how is anybody else meant to know? Without anybody telling you. People buy drinks because they assume it's safe. What if there is too much caffeine? You never know. It's safe to say, I can tell you I'm having 25 grams of caffeine, but what if that's dangerous?
So we assume that legally they should have to post the guideline daily amount of caffeine on their cans.
Why not drink, does it?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
What if it turns out, because the company can turn around and say, let's say it turns out, and I'm going to pick bullshit numbers. Let's say the human, in a can, there should be no more than 50 grams of whatever in a can. Or there should be X number of things of caffeine in a drink.
Yep.
And let's say there's 100, or there's twice the number in a can, right?
Yep.
The company could go, well, we didn't know that. But you're selling it. It's your job to know that. You should have done the research. You should have gone to the health authority and said, okay, is this safe? That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to test these products. And the FDA would have to take some blame as well. But ultimately, if you're selling a product that's unsafe, any product that's unsafe, you can't just say about the person, well, you should have known it'd be dangerous. It depends what it is. If it's an obvious thing, like cocaine or scissors or shit like that, yeah, if you misuse it, you're fucked. Paracetamol is a great example. If you have too much fucking paracetamol,
Your liver goes.
Yeah, your liver's shit. But they know that. They say, look, this is the most you can have. Have no more than this. And they've done studies and studies to know the exact, pretty much the amount an average person can have. So if it turns out that Monster have a perfectly fine amount of caffeine in that for a single can, right? If they have a perfectly safe amount in their can, then it's not their fault because they said, look, we said don't have more than 24. This is how much it's safe to have in a singular can. But if the FDA determine that they have too much caffeine in their can, then they're selling a dangerous product. But we can't know that unless we happen to be in the field of that realm of science, where we can say, well, actually, say if I was in a shop and I buy a can of X number, and there happened to be a guy who deals with that level of chemistry that comes to me and goes, whoa, actually that's got twice the amount of caffeine you're supposed to have. The first thing I'd be like is, thanks, and why? How come it doesn't say on that? And then I'd be calling them up going, you do know apparently they're not supposed to have this. I'd be wanting answers. So the way I look at it is, if the FDA turn around and say, the caffeine content's fine, there's no reason why, maybe she had too much. The idea is she had one can.
Right,
she had one, but we don't know what else she had.
Yeah, that's
because if you have 5 Mountain Dews and then a Monster, dead.
Well, the deal is, if one can killed her,
yeah,
chances are it's not going to be the amount of caffeine. It's going to be a reaction she had internally with, the inability to handle it, or something she ate or took.
My point is, because obviously I think it's not. I'm not like I'm saying. It's not like I'm saying, ban energy. All I'm saying is, if it was deemed that there was too much caffeine in the drink, which way should the lawsuit go?
If it was deemed that the can was a dangerous product and it didn't say.
Well, it had more caffeine than it really should. Do we say it was a genuine mistake, but she could have had caffeine or whatever, so it's not, we can't just put all the blame on her, therefore the court case goes to the energy drink, or we say, yeah, she may have had other energy drinks, but you had way too much caffeine in your drink, so you're getting the blame, and give it to the family.
I would suggest partial blame. I wouldn't go as far as I say, well, it's definitely. I'd go, well, if it was say twice as much as you meant to have, I'd be like, okay, yeah. Although
so you think it should be relative?
Then I would question why there have been no other cases. So that's why I'm saying partial blame.
So what would you reckon? Maybe like a small damages payment, or
I would say average kind of size damages payment. Nothing too extortionate. Nothing too you know.
Well, it depends who decides it, because it could either be a jury that decides or a judge. So you're like a judge kind of claim that. What about
cases always go to judge?
Yeah,
but yeah,
Well, but the thing is, I've seen the cases where it's been a jury that have determined the amount, like against the tobacco companies and shit like that. Where
usually it's very rare for a jury to do it. Like, juries would do it, and they'll never be told the amount. They'll be given a option.
Oh yeah.
And on top of that, usually a judge will go from looking at past records and say that, or jury, if the jury's there, jury usually go for it.
It's interesting, because you would think that this kind of a subject would be one that gets either a stone cold response, either one side spectrum or the other. It's quite surprising to find somewhere in the middle, you know. For me, I'd be like, guys, I'd make an example of like soon, and they're a corporation. I don't think they would be too fucking troubled. But
yeah. Well, getting away with that. I believe there's not much left to say other than
we have some questions.
Movies.
But we have more questions for the old Shout. Yes, we've actually had questions from for Shout. Very happy. Thank you very much for sending these all in.
Have any of us read these questions beforehand?
No, I haven't.
I've seen a couple.
Right. There's a van in our street. Go away, van. Oh, thank you.
Yes, we often look outside the studio. Anyway.
I looked outside the studio once.
Are you ready for these questions, guys?
Yes.
Here we go. Question number 1, and all these are from Anonymous.
Oh, this should be fun.
We don't mind. If your sex life was to have a known film title, what would it be? So it's basically describe your sex life with a film title. I don't know, 12 rounds.
I think it's going to be the Marine 2, no one's seen that.
Oh. Sex life as a known film title.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Snakes. Where are the snakes?
I could have sworn it was going to be The Last Crusade.
The Last Crusade. Lost in San Francisco.
You're going to the con then.
I know a few people in my school for who it would be. You know, Stephen Brown.
My sex life. Final Fantasy's coming to mind. Describe my sex life.
A known film title. That's what's getting me. I'm trying to think of some films.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight Rises.
School of Hard Knocks.
If you're a necrophiliac, Dead Poet Society.
If you're a rapist, catch me if you can. What was it for you? Castaway.
Fuck you, dude. That was a bit more Dr. No.
Dr. No.
Thunderball.
Octopussy.
Unipod. But yeah, I'd go Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That's me, Harrison Ford.
Right.
I don't know what yours could be.
Total Recall! Because that never happened either.
Oh, The Dark Knight Rises.
Yep.
Iron Man. The Incredible Hulk.
Oh.
Well, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry?
I don't think I would.
4. Search for Mjolnir.
If you're real Green Arrow. That's comic books. Now we're just going to comic books. And then you've got so many different things.
For Aphrodite, you could be how to lose a guy in 10 days.
I think that would be 10 days, man.
Yeah.
Unless you wait at that time to go.
Exactly.
If you're into that weird kind of stuff, how to lose friends and alienate people. But yeah.
Okay,
well, I'm going with Raiders of the Lost Ark because it does genuinely make me chuckle.
If it's nice to have a known film title. I'm just trying to think because mine's weird. It's like I have one.
You've got mail.
We are not worthy.
Oh, fucking hell.
I
wish I... Yeah.
See, if it's anticlimactic, what you do about nothing.
Yeah. See, I have a love life. It just takes 2-year gaps. when your last lives across seas, you know, it gets...
That could be the Dark Knight Rises. He took 8 years off as well.
Anywho,
yeah.
I'll go with Total Recall because that's pretty much all made up in his head.
Oh.
Okay. Just wait.
When does that edit point?
Ginger bread. House.
Given my current circumstance, probably Mission Impossible. Next question. What are your thoughts on love at first sight? It exists, but not for everyone.
Pretty much the same. I tend to find that it can exist, but for most people, basically, you want to have sex. That's it.
Lust at first sight.
Yeah. Lust at first sight.
It's asking if it can work. It's just, what do you think?
First sight, second sight, window home.
I reckon it exists.
Yeah.
I never experienced it.
But it can happen. Okay. Okay, next question. If life is so short, why do we do so many things we don't like and like so many things we don't do?
Because of situations.
Life's a bitch.
Then you die.
No, that's then you get married.
Basically, because there are some things you don't like that you have to do the things that you want to do. And sometimes because you do the things you don't want to do, you have less time to do things you want to do. Therefore, play the game. Hopefully you'll win.
It's because of CRL. CRL.
What's that?
You got limitations, restrictions, and circumstance. So, circumstance, restrictions, limitations, CRL.
Like a quote of great man. Life sucks, and then you die.
Next question. Tits or ass? Ass.
Both. Simultaneously. One and the other.
It all depends on the person, but generally I'm an ass man.
I disagree with you both.
That's fine. We care about your tits or ass.
They're firm.
You're only just allowed to start talking about tits or ass.
Next question. How would you know if a guy's just after one thing?
Because he's got his penis in you.
Jeremy, that's a good way to find out.
Hi, everybody.
And that's the folks. That's the show for this week, folks. We'll see you next week. Not gonna get better than that. I'm assuming this is a chick, but generally it's because they're talking.
Guys.
Most guys.
Guys,
you should be able to tell.
Okay,
guys who bring every single conversation round to a flirtatious, a very flirtatious, and not in a funny way, but more in a very sexualized, flirtatious kind of way. It's not playful; it's more ambitious. Guys like that tend to be like that.
And generally,
I know.
And generally, he's still called the Geek King, or the Don't Walk Alone.
Yeah, see, me and Dan, we're the nice guys,
dude.
You don't flirt with anyone.
You've got someone.
Yeah, you've got someone there.
I'm allowed to flirt as long as it's purely playful and.
Therefore, you're not going to be talking to anyone after
I think as a general rule of thumb, the people who genuinely do like you will try to do the things that guys do when they like them, and then fail at them. Like they'll try to ignore you and do really badly at it. That kind of crap.
Yeah. Next question. Velcro is the best invention of all time. Discuss. You're wrong. It's the internet. You can't get porn on Velcro.
Well, you get porn with Velcro.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No, because
terrible way to be stuck to the screen.
That's how sound you want to associate with the penis. That's it.
It's okay. The best invention ever.
And the internet is the greatest invention of all time.
The best invention ever.
And by the way, I'm going purely for man-made stuff. I'm not even talking about stuff that naturally exists.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go with computers because you can't have the internet without a computer.
True.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yes.
They weren't invented.
Unless Dan is actually the creator of the
fake
big
boobs, though. Well,
They became
fake boobs. Yep.
All right.
They're a natural invention.
This one is ambiguous. Jimmy Savile or Gary Glitter? If you're asking who's worse, Gary Glitter because he's still alive.
Depends. Which one's going to buy me the nicest dinner?
More.
That's what I want to know. Which one will buy me the nicest dinner?
You're too young. You're A?
Wrong gender.
No, well, no, you're over 16.
Yeah.
Well, you look, and to be fair, when you were 13, you did look like a chick. So.
I did. I look like a chick just without the developing breasts.
I'm a flat chested.
I have them now. But
I don't know. I would say, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't really care.
Why don't we just get on? Why don't we just get on with it? Tie Gary Glitter up somewhere and shoot him in the head.
Moving on. Yeah, I don't care about it. I'm not wasting any more time on that one. They're both cunts. Who cares? Anyway, next question. We look into a mirror. What do we see? We can never actually know because as soon as we look away, there is no one watching it. If we record a mirror, it is still something watching. How can we know what it is if we can never see what is really there?
that looks forever. Dan, I'm going to look at the mirror. I'll look away. You tell me what you see. Let's go near, okay? Just the reflection of the room. Okay.
Right.
Basically, the reflection is what we see.
I don't
You moron.
I don't understand what you're trying to say there because basically the only thing I can assume is that you've read Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's cat, and that's what it is. The idea of if you put a cat in a room and you leave, is the cat still in the room? Because reality is what you perceive it.
Yeah.
And if you can't perceive that the cat is there, then you don't know for a fact. I can assure you, and you don't know if the cat's alive or dead.
Schrodinger's cat is you put a cat in a box and they put poison in the box.
Is the cat alive or dead? Yeah.
I'd like to just state for a second, I've seen mirrors be made. They're mirrors. They're shiny metal. They reflect things. I don't know whether that helps anyone that I can see mirrors.
Just because you can't perceive it doesn't mean it's not actually there.
No, I'm going to sound like I'm insulting you here.
Yeah.
I kind of am. But stop worrying about stuff like this and move on with your life.
And the last question we got, could you please give a song for the following? A song that reminds you of your last or current relationship. So I'll do each at a time.
Okay, last relationship.
I could do last. I'll do last and current if you want.
Though some of the lyrics don't apply. Truth is by Theory of a Dead Man.
Okay.
Unfaithful by Rihanna. Actually, and Dirty Little Secret by... Who's Dirty Little Secret by?
I have no idea.
Can't remember.
I'll look at it for you. Dirty Little...
No, don't Google that.
All American Rejects.
All about... Thank Christ.
Okay.
I say don't Google that.
My current relationship would be Come Up Me. It's a Moulin Rouge, it's our song. Last relationship. Probably Thanks for the Memories. Fall Out Boy.
And that's...
the next
one. But mine is also for one relationship.
Okay, next one. You going home after an extended leave of absence.
By the way, for the one that... I don't know.
Last relationship.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my last relationship.
No, go ahead. I just got confused.
Alright, you're going home after an extended leave of absence.
No.
My brain just went, Adam, what?
I did both, so if you want
if you got one for a current one.
Night and Day, Frank Sinatra.
Alright.
Do that.
You're going home after extended leave of absence, so you've been away from home for a long time. So a song that reminds you of you going home after extended leave of absence. Am I really going to have to say this one? Going Home by Doubtry.
I was about to say Home by Doubtry.
Yeah.
I'm going home. Life is a Highway, Rascal Flatts.
Alright.
Who says you can't go home, Bon Jovi?
Nice.
Okay.
Your mood right now. Complicated. No. My mood right now. Oof.
Does that mean in life? Or?
No, your mood right now. Dazed and confused. Ooh, that's a good one.
I Don't Care by Fall Out Boy because I'm feeling rather apathetic. I know. Salty Dog by Flogging Molly. Just a genuinely jovial pop song. Yeah, and that's basic. This is basically just like three people chilling.
Yeah,
listening to nice music.
That's what we do. We play poker.
That's what we do for the show. So we play poker. We don't do any work. We just play poker and listen to music.
Then we put this show on. For most of the show, we played it up.
Then afterwards, I'm going to go eat those tortillas that are on the bed. And then no.
Mood for right now.
Probably. I think it's the X's. Ugly.
Because your hair.
No.
Is that the is that I can see through you inside?
No, that's Outside by State.
Oh well, so it's your face.
Yeah. It's like we are dirt, we are alone. It's like, are you ugly? Play it later on for you.
Thank you.
I had all the lyrics in my head, but as soon as you interrupted me, it was going like that because my memory span for some reason is shit. It's like me and Dan were out yesterday, and I went to I put £3 aside, £3.90 for a couple of drinks. I put them in my pocket, and I had them there. When I got there, completely forgot about the money. I was like, "Where's my tenner gone?" And I didn't have a tenner, so I went to put my card in the machine to pay for my card. I couldn't remember my pen. Of course, as soon as I walk away, there it is.
And it's money. My mood right now.
We are dirt, we are alone. You know, I'm far from sober. Are you ugly like me? Are you ugly? Those are the fucking lyrics.
I'll go with I'll go with one of the ones that we listened to recently.
Yeah.
Puts me in a good mood. Back in Black.
Back in Black. And finally, how you feel about your future? The show must go on.
But we talk about that, isn't it?
Yeah.
How in the hell? No.
The ECW theme. I intend on Paul Heyman strutting through life.
Future. It's not really a comic book theme one.
Deeply, I'm your Superman. I'll explain all my love. My love can make heads know. That's alright, because nobody remembers that song, so I can't get serious.
Yeah, actually, go Kryptonite for $3 down.
Of course. If I go crazy, you still call me Superman. Awesome! They finish up by saying, thanks, loving the show.
Well, we love you too.
We love you too. It's awesome.
And the last who asked about the whole, how do you know whether the guy likes who just wants them? My advice would be to take the penis out of you.
Unless you're enjoying it and you're of
My
age.
advice is if he's just sitting there and it's just in you, move around a bit.
To the left. Take it back.
To the right.
One hop this time. Boom. One hop this time. Boom. Slide to the right. Slide to the left. Reverse. The cha-cha slide of sex.
Anyhow,
up and down.
Hopefully next week
we'll have
the results of my Martian Manhunter fan cast.
Good Lord!
I've got a basic story.
I forgot about that.
I didn't. I've got a basic storyline in mind, just where less of the king, so he had a bit of shit to deal with. A lot of you may be wondering, Sting, how come you posted the last video so fucking late? I mean, we haven't heard it last week's episode yet, and all of a sudden you get 2 episodes at the same time.
It's because we love you!
No, it's because last week's episode apparently got fucked during the upload process. And I wasn't aware until Adam pointed out to me that the episode wasn't actually up. So I was like, okay. So, yeah, I'm having to upload, I had to re-edit last week's episode's audio to make the video file again. So I'm in the process of doing that. So I apologise for that. That's probably my fault. It's the same deal for Total Markout, but whatever. But speaking of episodes, let's talk about when the next episode of Shout comes to you all. Our next show is episode 32, November 3rd, November 4th, or next weekend. What?
I can't see this.
You don't need to see it.
You don't have to.
Yes, I do.
Anyway,
it's a team game.
Remember, you can follow us on Tumblr, shouttheshow.tumblr.com. We have got a whole host of things for you, put together by Dan, the Geek King Anderson, with a little help from me. And I mean a little help, because he does a lot of stuff on Shout, God bless him.
I do a lot of stuff on Tumblr.
Yeah, basically,
4 blogs to watch.
We have the episode archive, plus a lot of memes that we like to post on there. Stuff like 30-day challenges that we're starting to do. We're doing a comic book based 30-day challenge on there. So tune in for all that.
By the time you'll hear this, hopefully, it'll be probably about day 3 or 4.
Yeah, we have all the fan casts that we've done in there so far. Plus, I post news articles up there that about from all around the world. So check them all out. Don't forget, you can follow us, our individual selves. Dan is on, geekking.com. Is that with a hyphen or just Geek King?
All one word.
So G33K or G80?
Mm-hmm.
So it's, which one?
Right.
So it's G33KING.com.
You went Lone Walker 1 there and just blurred.
Yeah, sorry, my apologies.
It's G blur, which one?
I did what with blurring?
And then you can follow Adam on Tumblr at thelonewalker1.tumblr.com, and there's me, Steve Jones 713.tumblr.com. We're on Facebook as well, facebook.com/shout the show.
Facebook.com.
I'm disappointed. None of you have brought me fajitas yet.
Facebook.com/geek.
And don't forget, everybody, race Cannon, our artist, cannonball.deviantart.com. Visit his DeviantArt profile. If he has commissions open, I recommend you get them while you can.
Geek-king.deviantart.com.
Yeah. And for Twitter, at the Lone Walker 1 is where you can find Adam. At Geek King is where you can find Geek. That is G33K_KNG. And at Steve Jones 313, number 3, number 1, number 3 is where you can find me. As I said, next episode, next weekend, November 3rd, November 4th. Check us out there, and we will see you next time on the Weekly Discussion Show. #.
Shout!
Vote for Obama!